Hi everybody, I'm Charlise.
And I'm Charli,
And you are?
Charlise's little sister.
And today I'm going to be teaching you about...
It was temperance.
Yeah, I'm going to be teaching you about the Temperance Movement, which is basically like a movement or like something that people like dedicated their lives to, like stopping people from drinking alcohol or like intoxicating liquors, like what people, it's like a general word for it. And yeah. So first, I'm gonna give you some like important people in the temperance movement, and there weren't many people like named because it was mostly like big groups. But I have some women like to tell you about since women were like a big part of the temperance movement. So one important woman, one important woman in the temperance movement was Eliza Thompson, or some people called her Mother Thompson, and she was one of the major leaders, women leaders in the temperance movement, and she was a member of the National Women's Christian Church, or National Women's
I have a question.
WCC. I think it was called WCC. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Wait, you said Eliza Thompson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how you say her name. It's like, yeah. And she would lead women to saloons, which are kind of like bars that are like, that's what they call them like nowadays. And they would sing and pray until the venues would close. So like until they would like stop selling the drinks. And another important woman was, do you need me to slow down? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Another important woman, her name was Lulu Maxwell, and she was one of the first WCTU and WKKK leaders, which is Women of the KKK, or Ku Klux Klan. And she was a huge leader, and also like with a number of women who joined. And going back to the women, like, were a big part of the temperance movement. Women worked hard to promote their vision of a better world, and they believed that temperance would lead to better family life, since a lot of families were ruined because of alcohol. And they believed that temperance would like make stronger morals and would like improve behavior and greater prosperity in life. And since also, like, I'm adding, alcohol abuse was really big in that time, and while the women were off like feeding the children stuff, men were off like spending all their money on alcohol and stuff, and women wouldn't even have enough money to buy clothes or feed their children or anything. So many women thought that so many women thought that temperance would solve this problem, so they supported the movement and led a lot of groups. And yeah, so this is the next thing. So this is a how. So how like it started, and then like what happened after it started. Do you need to slow down a little bit?
No.
Okay. So as I said in the first part, many Americans in the early 1800s believed that drinking alcohol was immoral and and was a threat to the nation's success. And these beliefs led to widespread support for temperance, which again means not supporting alcohol or not drinking alcohol. And even though it was many people's idea to start the temperance movement, as I said, it was mostly women who really wanted it that led to the widespread support for temperance and effect. So due to so many different thoughts and ideas, there were so many different groups formed during the temperance movement at many different times and many different places. So with all these groups supporting the movement, it did end up succeeding at one point, which was in 1919, where they like put in the 18th Amendment, which is like, amendment is like a rule that you have to follow or else you'll go to jail. You'll probably learn that later on. You'll probably learn all the amendments later on, but yeah. But then in 1933, the 21st Amendment went into action, and that basically stopped or like discontinued the 18th Amendment, which meant like you could start drinking alcohol again, and it wasn't banned anymore. So yeah. Do you need me to slow down? Do you want to keep going?
I want to keep going.
Okay. So now this is a when. So the first known recordings of the Temperance Movement was in the early 1800s, was like early 1820s, and this was when it was a spike. This was when it was a spike in the Americans drinking, and hundreds of temperance groups were also founded at this time.
Okay.
And the year it ended, as I said, around shortly after 1933, when the 21st Amendment went into action. And with that, organized temperance movements declined in popularity and power, and they were really like never heard of again. So yeah. So where? Ohio was a big place in which the temperance movement was surrounded upon. Ohioans formed local temperance groups early in the movement and actually helped prohibition, which is like stopping, like prohibition, like prohibit it. Stopping it. It helped prohibition succeed in 1920, and temperance then became a political issue when Ohio formed the Prohibition Party in 1869. And more on Ohio, there's a picture. I'll show her a picture. There's a picture of men and women gathered outside of, I think it's like a grocery store, protesting the sale of alcoholic beverages. And you can't see it, but
It kind of looks like the Ruby Bridges story, kind of. When all the people.
Because it's like in black and white. Yeah, this was like in the olden days. Okay. And then the last thing is the eventual outcome of the temperance movement. And so basically, as I said before, the temperance movement probably didn't go the way the leaders wanted, even though local wise they succeeded. Like in their small parts of towns, people stopped drinking, but like state-wise it was a little harder. And as stated, the 18th Amendment did prohibit the making, which like you can't make it, transportation, you can't like ship it anywhere, and sale, you can't sell it, of intoxicating drinks, but was later repealed, like as I said, like stopped, taken off by the 21st Amendment, which led to decline in power and popularity between these groups. And here's the picture again. I'm not sure if anybody can see it.
You make your screen
Okay,
darker.
that's not gonna work, but anyways, thanks guys. Do you have anything, is there anything you can remember that you thought was really interesting about it?
That last one you showed about the like grocery store and stuff. I thought it was really interesting.
Okay. Well, thanks. Oh my gosh, the lighting is. Sorry. Okay, you can turn off.